Look at this old photo from 1975. It shows a small farm stand sitting by the side of a dusty road. Wooden crates overflowing with fresh sweet corn, baskets of ripe peaches, and an open glass mason jar stuffed with $1 bills. Look closely at the table. Try to find a lock. You cannot. There are no security cameras. There are no guards. Just a wooden table and a glass jar filled with cash. Today, you walk into a mega store and find basic tools and razor blades locked behind security glass with cameras overhead. Back then, a glass jar on the side of the road was normal. Who convinced an entire nation to treat every neighbor like a criminal? It was not your fault. Today, we explore why that roadside jar never went missing. We look at why your father never locked his truck. We find the exact moment when the handshake died. Think back to a warm Saturday morning in 1975. Your father pulls the family station wagon over to the gravel shoulder near a cornfield. The engine ticks quietly as the doors swing open. On a weathered wooden table by the ditch sits a row of wooden crates and an old glass jar. 6 ears of fresh sweet corn go straight into the brown grocery bag on the passenger seat. 2 $1 bills drop through the open mouth of the jar. Nobody is standing guard behind the barn. No license plate scanners, no digital receipts. The car shifts back into gear, tires crunching over the gravel, and rolls away. Modern sociologists like to claim that people back then were simply naive. That is a lie. Our fathers were not naive. They were living inside an unwritten social contract between men that was stronger than any iron deadbolt. Stealing from that table was 50 times more expensive than paying the $2. Keep that third thing in your mind, that metal newspaper box sitting on the street corner, because what happened to that simple steel box reveals the exact moment trust was replaced by suspicion. Step onto Main Street on a bright Saturday morning in 1975. Down the block, you hear the low, steady rumble of a V8 engine. The morning air smells of warm asphalt, freshly cut grass, and hot, black coffee drifting from the diner. The small brass bell chimes as a working man walks out of the local hardware store. He walks to his pickup truck. The windows are rolled down. The doors are unlocked. He tosses his leather wallet onto the front seat. He does not look back. He knows his tools are in the truck bed. He says 8 words. Nobody touches another man's tools in this town. This was a sacred law. Every person was a guard for their neighbor. If you broke the trust, you lost everything. The community was an invisible army of protection. The first physical piece of this lost world sat right on that gravel table, the glass mason jar. It sat in plain sight from Pennsylvania to Ohio, often holding $30 or $40 in small bills beside wooden crates of sweet corn. Why did nobody steal the jar? The modern world assumes people back then had more money or were just naive. But in 1975, a working man's dollar was hard-earned. The real reason is that a man's reputation was worth infinitely more than $30 in cash. In a town of 5,000 people, everyone knew your family name. They knew where you worked, who your father was, and which pew you sat in on Sunday morning. If a man stole that jar, the shame followed him into every barbershop, every job site, and every dinner table in the county. The social pressure of the neighborhood was 10 times more powerful than a police badge. Men chose honesty not out of fear of handcuffs, but out of pride in their own name. And that exact same unspoken trust lived 5 miles down the road, at the chrome lever of the local gas pump. The second piece was the chrome lever on the gas pump. You pulled into a station and filled 15 gallons to the top. You did not use a card. You did not pay through an app. You finished pumping, walked inside, and handed over the cash. The business trusted the person first. It was an assumption of honesty. Today, every machine demands payment before it gives a single drop. Automatic prepayment turned 300 million honest citizens into potential suspects. Back then, the chrome lever represented a handshake. It was a sign that the world expected you to do the right thing. This trust made life move faster and felt much warmer. The third piece was the metal newspaper machine. This was the ultimate daily test. You dropped 15 cents into the slot. The heavy metal door clicked open. You had access to 50 newspapers. You could easily take 10, but almost everyone took exactly one. This was a daily referendum on human dignity. A man proved his honor to himself every morning. People took one paper because they respected the system. They knew that if everyone cheated, the machine would disappear. It was a small act of honor repeated millions of times. It proved that most people wanted to be good when no one was looking. This was the peak of the American social contract. Numbers reveal the true scale of what was taken from us. Long-term studies from the University of Michigan and the Pew Research Center track a heartbreaking shift. In 1975, 60% of Americans believed their neighbors could be trusted. Today, that number has plunged to 27%. What killed the handshake? It was not your fault. You did not break the social contract. In the 1980s, mega corporations swallowed local hardware stores and family diners. Anonymous warehouses replaced neighborhood shopkeepers who knew your family name. To protect corporate profits, they installed surveillance cameras, electronic gates, and plastic lockboxes. They replaced a man's honor with digital suspicion. That old phrase from 1975, that nobody touches another man's tools, described a moral world built on mutual respect. The corporate machine took that world away, leaving every honest citizen behind locked doors. You do not have to accept a world where every man is treated like a suspect. You can practice that quiet strength in your own life starting today. First, keep the honor code when no one is watching. Leave the extra tip on the diner counter, return the lost item, and keep your handshake word even when it costs you. Second, buy directly from local growers and family craftsmen who still put a jar on the table and look you in the eye. Third, teach the young men around you that a man's reputation in his neighborhood is worth more than any quick digital dollar. There is more of Vintage America coming. Subscribe and stay with us. You did not lose your integrity. You lost the world that was built on it. What was the one thing your parents never locked that would be stolen today in 5 minutes? Just name it. One word is enough. Next time, we are going somewhere else in Vintage America, somewhere you have not been in a while, and somewhere that will make you feel exactly like this again. See you there.